everyone. Welcome back to Business Conversations. I have Mr. Kalirajan with us today. He is a clarity coach. He has more than 30 years of experience in the nuclear industry in mainly handling project managements and different facets of project management. And the last few months, he has been involved into coaching, corporate coaching. So good afternoon, Mr. Kalirajan. Thank you for your valuable time.
Good afternoon, Granville. Nice meeting you and nice being with you this afternoon.
Great, Mr. Kalirajan. I love your title, Clarity Coach. So clarify about the Clarity Coach niche, please.
That's a very good question to ask. When you take up a camera, we look at the destination which we want to shoot, but where to shoot, what to shoot, that is to be decided by us. So
Correct.
That is what I call it as a clarity. But after deciding what to shoot, then only we focus the camera. So the clarity means the destination comes first. Then we focus our thoughts and focus our activities, focus our entire efforts towards achieving that goal. That is where I mean that, it's a clarity. Our practice is to focus. That's all. We try to concentrate on focusing. But where to focus, how to focus, that's a different issue. So if we can fix up the clarity, with clarity, we can fix up our frame, where to focus, then I think the picture will be very clear and picture will be very, very good. So that is where I mean to say, I would like to make the people feel more clear about their thoughts, more clear about their goals, without distractions, without any peripherals. That's what I mean being a clarity coach.
Oh, that is an awesome niche, and I think you're going to have unlimited number of customers because the most difficult thing is to have a clarity of thought. It is more of social service, I think, to people than actually providing a service to get somebody clear.
Certainly, because I don't run a company. It's my freelance, advisory role. I've been doing this kind of, creating a clarity on career, especially for many students. Of course, I was working on my own son's education. So that is how I could get a lot of clarity on various opportunities, career opportunities. So I thought, why not I start, expanding that clarity, bringing in clarity, not only in career aspects, in all aspects of life. So that is how I have started myself as a clarity coach.
Great. So are you addressing a certain segment of audience? What is the audience you are normally looking at working with?
Yeah. Basically, what I'm targeting right now is, if you look at the career graph of any corporate executives, we enter the service maybe between 20 to 25. For 10 to 15 years, people, they try to work here and there, maybe shifting some companies and all. But when they reach 35 plus or around 40, they want to settle down.
Correct.
And by the time they would have got married, they must be having some children. So they want to settle down somewhere. And at that point of time, I have seen many people who are not clear about where do they want to settle down, how do they want to settle down, what is their future. Recently, I had one consultancy. The person is working in US, so he wanted to discuss with me, what is to be done and all. He's around 40, so he's already doing a very good job and earning very good money, and his wife is also working. But today he's not very clear what does he want to do. And he is totally confused. And moreover, everything looks bright when you're in one side. The other side always looks bright.
Correct.
So I have started working with him right now, and he's doing some exercises which I have given right now. So probably like him, there are many people even in India, within our our country. Many people are worried, and that worry is at peak when you are reaching the age between 30 to 35 to 40. So I'm targeting only those audience, and that is the area where my services would be very beneficial. In fact, I myself have seen that kind of turbulence, what you call, in your thought, in your goal, when I was in that range, 35 to 45. In fact, I switched over my profession, my job after 45 years of age.
Wow.
Okay, which is very, very, but for that also, it was, long-term planning and very clear on my priorities. What do I want to achieve in life? In fact, if you ask my story, like I was in a very good organization, Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited, for about 26 years, and I was on a senior most position. uh, about to become a chief engineer in a power plant construction. But my priority was not my career because I have already reached to that whatever possible heights. I just wanted to shift my priority to my children's education. So we had a very open discussion within our family, and then we decided, yes, this is the time we have to pay attention to our children. And I took a decision to resign that job and then come and join a private company here. And that has really resulted fruitful. And my son, elder son, he has entered into IIT Madras, and that was a success for me. And that these kind of activities which I have taken up for my own self, it has resulted in a fruitful, it has given a fruitful result. So I thought, why don't I, impart that kind of services to other people who are in need of this. So that is how I thought, let me call me as a clarity coach. I can bring clarity in others' thoughts also.
That is a really inspiring story, Mr. Kairaj. I mean, as you said, striking a balance between work and personal life is always a challenge for everyone. And as you said, it
Yes.
takes a lot of thought to be put into taking those difficult decisions. Even when I moved from my career in corporate to this consulting field, it was a really difficult decision to take. And luckily, I had a mentor who could guide me through that thought and really do a clear evaluation of my strengths and what I really am passionate about. That gave me the clarity of thought. So maybe if I had you there, I'd also had a much more easier time transitioning then. But as you said,
That's
doing it alone is really, really difficult. And as you
yeah,
said, you have self doubt, you have so many other things that work in the background beside the financial part of it. There are other
yeah,
parts which also come in which are very close to you, which is
yeah,
something that it's very difficult to overcome and brings self-doubt and a lot of other things into the equation. And it really is hats off that you were able to take that decision alone and make that
yeah.
transition, which is really, really something to admire. That's great.
Thank you.
So just tell me a little bit about your family since we brought that topic up.
Okay. I hail from a village near to Madurai, and I started my education in a village, and then moved to higher education. I mean, schooling, high school from Madurai city. Then moved on to near to Chennai for engineering. So after engineering, I joined the Nuclear Power Corporation and worked in Rajasthan, remote place for about 10 years before I moved to Tamil Nadu back. So my journey to even I cannot forget my first journey to Rajasthan. It's such a wonderful memory because I didn't know any sentence I cannot speak in Hindi. I cannot understand Hindi that time. It was way back in 1989. What I was knowing is मुझे हिंदी नहीं मालूम. So मुझे हिंदी नहीं मालूम. Somehow I learned from somewhere, and then with that मुझे हिंदी नहीं मालूम. I sailed to Rajasthan, where people don't even speak even a single word of English, and I survived. 10 years. By the time when I left, I could master Hindi speaking. That even speeches I used to give it in Hindi. Of course. So that's a kind of development. And after coming back from Rajasthan in 1999, I came back to Chennai, and then 2001 I got married. But immediately after marriage, I moved to a project. I moved to a project called Kudangulam project. I have two sons, and both of them were born when I was in the project life. And recently, about 2015, we moved back to Chennai after resigning from the Nuclear Power Corporation. And my wife is a housewife. She takes care of all the household activities, and she's a MA MPhil, and she's very fond of cooking. In
Wow,
fact, I'm creating her as an aspiring author of cooking recipe. So,
that's good.
and my son's first son is studying in IIT Madras mechanical engineering. The second one is in 11th standard. He is also trying to aspiring IITian. Let me see. Let
Wow.
God will help me. This is a small brief about my life. I have three brothers and one sister, and all of them are settled at various professions. In fact, the strength which I could get on clarity is when I was the eldest in my family, and my father was totally relying on me after I joined the job, both for running the family, because by the time he got retired, he was in a government service, and then my younger brothers were in the college education. Now the point here is, my youngest brother, he wanted to become an engineer, but he couldn't score good marks in 12th standard, so he couldn't get into engineering college. So my another brother, he also could not score good marks, and he was very good in general knowledge and speaking skills. So there are professions available for each and everybody. It's not necessarily that kind of clarity came to me once both of them are well placed. One has become a lawyer, another one has become a HR expert in a IT industry. So both of them are really doing well, and that is how there are careers available. So there is nothing like only engineering or medical. You can, whichever branch you study, whichever subject you study, there are scopes to improve yourself, to prove yourself, and you can create a career. So that is how I always used to give examples of my both the brothers to anybody when they come to me for career oriented advice. I used to give them the example of my both the brothers. So that becomes a live, lively example, which is you can see and verify for yourself. So like that, when I came across my professional life also, many such occasions where I've been given an opportunity to meet or to face the crisis. So when you are given a crisis management job, unless you have a clarity on what is the crisis all about and how do you approach, I think you will never succeed in that. So I fortunately I had to come across many such opportunities. I was given many such opportunities in my old company. In fact, there was an opportunity for planning the visit of President of India, Dr. Abdul Kalam, to the project site. So there was only 15 days time available. So I was, spearheading certain, arrangements and all. And that was a wonderful moment for me. The second one was when, see, nuclear is a very sensitive subject. So what happened in 2011 in Japan, there was a nuclear accident. So as a result, all over the world, the nuclear projects came to some kind of disturbance, and our project in Kudangulam also came to a bigger disturbance. There was a public agitation, and there was a stoppage of the entire job for about 6 months. So that opportunity was given to me. How do you approach the public? How do you create awareness in the public? How do you create clarity in the minds of the public? So that provided me a lot of opportunity to get into media and connecting to media and creating awareness videos, creating awareness songs, and creating books and pamphlets, so many things. And I used to visit to so many institutions those days, and so many public places, public clubs like Rotary Club or Lions Club, to just make them clear what exactly nuclear is all about, how is it safe, so no need to worry. So these kind of things I was doing since 2011 to 2014. So in this process, what has happened is I came across a lot of colleges. And I also had an opportunity to complete my doctorate in civil engineering. So that has added value to my, reaching out to the colleges, and still my, relationship with some of the colleges are still continuing. And they have me as academic council member or a board of studies member to bring in the industrial perspective to their academic, curriculum. So this journey has really helped me a lot to bring clarity to my life. So I thought, let me use that kind of aspects to the other people also who are in need of it. One thing, taking a tip from what you said, I strongly believe in a corporate environment, people do SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, threat, and opportunities. And most of the companies, they will tell you, okay, these are your weak areas. Try to work on it and try to bring back to a stronger area. But I have always a difference of opinion in that. Like, If I find something strong, and if at the right time, if I'm, mentored and coached to work on my strength, I think that will be a very great, opportunity for me. And not really, worrying about weak and threats. If I am able to concentrate on strength and opportunities, that kind of career growth, somebody can really imagine what kind of position you can reach. So that is what I'm trying to create a clarity in the minds of people.
That is really an inspiring story, Mr. Kairaj. And as I said, the important thing is how do you handle opportunities when they come in front of you? I think that is the moral what I take away from your story. Whether it's about your brothers or about the different opportunities that came in front of you, I think you grabbed it with open hands and you used it in the right way, which has brought the results that what has got you here today. So I think that is a
Yeah,
very inspiring story. I think for everybody who's listening to know that life doesn't end if you are not able to accomplish a certain thing. There's always another step you can take, and you can definitely be a success at something even better if you really
yes,
grab that right opportunity at the right time. That I think is
that's true.
the crux of the whole thing that I've heard, and your story really is an inspiration. Which brings
Thank
the point. I think with the COVID right now, Mr. Kairajan, there's I think people's mindset with losing jobs and with the turmoil that's happened in reduction in salaries and some people not even getting salaries. How have you seen people reacting to COVID, and have you been able to really been participating in helping them out during this period of time?
Yeah, it's a very pathetic situation, I would say. But at the same time, whomsoever I am meeting with, there are people whom salary has come down, including me. So many people have lost their job. And whenever I keep meeting the people, this time will move. This time also will pass away. So let us not concentrate on what has gone in the past. Let us concentrate on the future. What is there for us? So let us focus on, let us be clear what we are going to do in the next year to come or next months to come. So this is not the only job what you can do. So I'm trying to bring in a concept of entrepreneurship in the minds of the people, because even if you look at the industrial revolution which is taking place right now, fourth industrial revolution, and within another 10 to 15 years, people are expecting that from fourth industrial revolution, we'll be moving to fifth industrial revolution. And the domination of technology is going to be really, really huge in this period of time. And people are also forecasting another 2 to 3 years down the line, artificial intelligence is going to play a major role in dictating the job market. So there is a forecast which I always tell the people whom I am mentoring. The future is going to be without any job market, but there will be a lot of work. The work, it is like a gig economy, and there will be a lot of work. So concentrate only on your skill building, and you upskill yourself or reskill yourself. Be ready for the work market, not the job market, because the companies may not be interested in hiring a people and then keeping them as a regular employees and then creating a liability to the company. That is not going to happen anymore in the market. So but there will be a lot of demand for the work. Like you can work for 10 companies at the same time. So that is going to be the future in all the spheres of life, because the works which are normally going to be done in a repetitive nature, for example manufacturing of a car, already robots have come in place, and people have been pushed out of the manufacturing industry slowly. So the work which is going to be really, really interesting for the human being tomorrow is the creative mind and creative nature of work and innovative nature of work. If we can work on building up those kind of skills. This COVID period, I used to tell them, like, if you have a 3 months or 6 month gap in your career, does not matter. Try to capture so many new ideas, like what I have done. Of course I was doing a job, of course company was paying me something, but in the meantime I started learning about how do I create an online course. Can I impact the future generation by giving my knowledge out? So I'm in the process of learning, preparing a course and then releasing online course later. Not for really earning money, but at least for the purpose of sharing my experiences on certain areas, especially on clarity, bringing clarity, and also on my niche, another niche of project management. So all these things can happen with everybody. That is what I advocate. People should not feel bad that some company has thrown you out of the job, but it's an opportunity for us now to upskill ourselves and reskill ourselves and develop our at least try to find out what is your strong area. Where do you want to become a big man? In which line you want to become a big man? There is a time God has given us to analyze ourselves and being aware of our own capabilities, then just start focusing on that line. That's what I recommend people.
Great, Mr. Kai Rajan. I mean, this interview with you has been very refreshing. And as you said, it's brought a lot of clarity in my thought process too. So I'm
Thank you.
absolutely glad you are picked this niche of a clarity coach. And I'm sure you will inspire a lot of people going forward and help them achieve the clarity that you have so much in your life. So thank you for sparing your time. It's been a great time talking to you. We'll surely catch up in another session sometime down the line on maybe a totally different topic. But thank you today for sparing your time on this weekend and sharing all these valuable information and so many messages in your speech today. Thank you so much. So that was Mr. Kali Rajan, a clarity coach, someone who has really inspired people and somebody who brings clarity in your life. This is Grenville, your planning coach, and I will be back with another entertaining and interesting person like Mr. Kali Rajan next week. Till then, be safe and be well.